So, hello everyone, it's Aimer here. Today I'm going to bring you what I think are the most important questions of the most recent Q&A. As of the making this video, I think the Q&A is still going on the Discord, but I'm going to choose to do this video right now because I don't think there's going to be more important information other than this. If there's anything else, I will probably pin it in the comments. So, with that being said, let's get the first one rolling. So, as you can see here, the question is about the release time frame of the Ultimate Descendants. And what the director replied to this is that their whole purpose of the Ultimate Descendants was to release them while following the order of the normal Descendant release date. However, um, since a lot of players obviously are waiting for the next female Descendant rather than the male ones, they will probably adjust the order to ensure that the release of the ultimate male descendants it does not get impacted negatively, and they will also try to shorten the release dates of the um, ultimate descendants. So yeah, pretty much they are gonna try to release them as fast as possible, starting the season 3. The next one we know it's Blair, and yeah, I think this is a great choice for the from the director to release them more frequently and not just release the female descendants. Now for the next question, this was about the having presets of the core of the weapon cores and pretty much your whole weapon presets, and the director replied that regarding the current meta of if you've seen the leaderboards and the streamers that speedrun, you will see that they have multiple copies of the same weapon, all of them maxed out. And honestly, this is kind of impossible to do for a player that doesn't have as much time to spend. So they admit that this is not the intended path they're trying to take. So they are still thinking on a solution to not make every single player craft a ton of weapons and have them, reroll to different attributes. They don't think that buffing just attributes will be better. So they're still thinking of what to do, but they think that probably having a preset for the core options and for your weapons is the way to go. And yeah, I think it's great that they acknowledge that farming and building multiple weapons will increase the fatigue. So it's a great answer by the director, pretty much. Now for the next one is pretty short one. This was a question about changing the rerolls of the external components, and as you can see here, the director has confirmed that for the season 2 episode 2, which is on March, he will get the adjustment for the external components, which will reroll the substats. However, they say that since they have two options, different, they will be implemented differently than the weapon rat judgment. So we have to see what they come up with. So probably another material to farm and to reroll them. But yeah, pretty much I think this is a great change that we're gonna see on the next update. And so we don't have to infinitely farm for the specific roles for our external components. Now for this next one, this is pretty much like their stance on solo play and group play. I think the question was not translated properly, but I still picked it because I think this stance or this answer is kind of interesting. So the question was if they are trying to incentivize the group play in the game because a lot of things are done solo pretty much. And the director replied that they balance the rewards around solo player, but um they will not pretty much reward extra stuff for completing missions in group, as this was not the direction they are trying to take. So I think this question was translated wrong, but I still found interesting that you know they balance their rewards around solo play instead of being better in group play. This is also a short one, and I picked this because this pretty much confirms that they are looking into increasing the rewards that you get for pretty much buy the Russian purge. And yeah, I think it's kind of like RNG-ish to get the good course dropped. So it's good that they are trying to look into the data, see what they come up with, and hopefully they increase them a little bit. Now, for this next one, this is I think a very important issue for the community, well, for the players that care about this, because it kind of will either buff or nerf the damage of the weapons. So this is about the fire rate issue. They have investigated and they are still investigating. So they um, come with to the conclusion that is because of the anti-cheat measures added to the game. So they are trying to think of a solution where the fire rate doesn't have to change the anti-cheat, so the anti-cheat measures, sorry, because that would lead to obviously more cheaters in the game. So what they're thinking firstly is that maybe they will cap the fire rate at something less than what it is now. If they do, let's hope that it's not like something really low because it will nerf the weapons. But yeah, I think it's good that they have identified the issue, and the issue is, well, it's bad that the issue triggers the anti cheat of the game. But let's hope they don't take like a super drastic measure to, you know, try to fix it, because it could lead to a potential nerf of the guns. We don't know. I don't know. But yeah, this is pretty much acknowledging the issue, and they come to the potential problem. Now, this is a massive piece of information, which the question was asked like, what are we gonna lose as a player if we when we transfer our normal descendant to the ultimate version? And the director said that we will not lose anything. All the energy activators used on them, all the catalysts used on them will be carried over. So with that, I think I can now finally, build Blair, because it will carry on everything. So if you're planning on building Blair for the ultimate version, you can now do it without the fear of, losing anything. And just gonna have to wait until they release the ultimate transfer material that they promised in the dev stream. So yeah, I think this is great news for the game. Having been being able to, transfer our normal descendant to the ultimate version. Now, another piece of good information that, or like future changes, is that this question was about having an option to use all of our amorphous materials into, just one, so we don't have to repeatedly do the Colossus fights. The directors replied that this is not in their plans. However, they are trying, or they are gonna have make a solution for this, and which is like making the like they're trying to like streamline the whole process of it, of like going to loading screens, waiting for the timer, matchmaking, all of that. They're trying to streamline it into being more easier and faster, which will result obviously in less time for farming um the amorphous from the Colossus fights. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see what they plan, and we'll see in future updates. Now, for this one, this is quite extensive answer by the director, but this is regarding the overall balance of the game. And the question is, will all characters eventually be buffed to be line or stronger than characters like Ines and Freina? So the director answers that pretty much Ines is just broken. She's too powerful. And the benchmark of what they build usually content around is for Descendants on the power scale of like Biesa, Balbi, Haley, and while Freyna is being slightly, above them, is just not anywhere near Ines. So the whole answer that the director gave was that they don't think they're gonna be able to fully, you know, balance the game without having to nerf something, because Ines is just like way too powerful, and her being like so powerful complicates the development of content in general. So while they're trying to, first buff everything, like all the descendants that we have seen, there will also include more buffs in the upcoming updates. However, like they said, they probably won't be able to balance everything because just like super strong descendants like Ines exist, but they're not planning on like nerfing outright the descendants. However, it is a possibility, so keep that in mind. I respect this decision because yeah, Ines is too powerful, but we'll have to see if they can come up with a solution instead of nerfing, or they will like nerf her at some point. And for the last one, this was a question about the support descendants not being like really used on anything in the game. Um, I think the only one that is really used is Enzo, and just because of his, crit buff or the ammo. But other than that, they're not really used. So Descendant replied to this that while they're trying to make more content that appeals to specific descendants, this content hasn't been really well received by the player base. So they are trying to find a way to implement content where all of the descendants can participate and make use of their skills that, well, their skill set that they have. So, for example, they are trying to improve the viability of support descendants. Um, with enhancing like their combat capabilities will make them more used in high difficulty content. But we'll have to see what they come up with. I think what they referred as to not being like very well received from the player base, sorry, was pretty much talking about Boy the Russian. But yeah, we'll have to see what they come up with and if they can make Eugene and Luna pretty much relevant again, because as of right now, the only descendant support that isn't, well, that pretty much can be used in the game is Enzo, and the other two are really dependent on some things that no one really has. So yeah, guys, this was it for like I think the most important questions of the Q&A. Like I said, the Q&A I think is still going on, but I'm gonna choose to like end it here because there's a lot of dumb questions. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.